Ghostwire Tokyo is an upcoming open-world action-adventure game releasing on March 25th, or on the 22nd if you decided to pay the extra $20 for some nonsense and to play it early. The game was developed by Tango Gameworks, known mostly for The Evil Within, and published by Bethesda. It takes place in, big surprise, Tokyo, and features some incredibly cool first-person action involving a series of unique magic attacks. Previously, I've talked about my potential interest in the game, but now that we have multiple content creators who have gained early access to the first 4 hours of the game, I've finally been able to see enough of the gameplay, story, and mechanics to let you all know I am officially hyped. And here's the top 5 reasons why. Magic combat. Unlike most FPS games, Ghostwire has decided to base combat nearly solely on using a set of magical techniques known as Kujikiri, as opposed to the traditional gunplay we are used to, with the exception of a bow and arrow. Initially, I was hesitant about this, but after seeing how many of the magical techniques function similar to certain popular weapon types, I quickly became not only accepting of this feature, but fully excited. Watching gameplay, it appears once players are comfortable with the mechanics, weapon types transition smooth and allow for some really intense battles, similar to Doom 2016. This, of course, is of no surprise, as one of the game's directors for Doom 2016, Shinichiro Hara, is the combat director for Ghostwire. Side stories. One of my favorite features I saw in the newly released gameplay was a few instances of excellent side missions. Initially, I assumed any side content would be the typical boring NPC standing around waiting to give you a mission to kill something around the corner and then talk to it again. Instead, I saw a mission that appeared to be straight out of a Shin Megami Tensei RPG, where a player interacts with a little boy's spirit who told him about an ornery kappa. The player then needs to summon the kappa by offering a cucumber to it and laying in hiding as the apprehensive kappa patrols the area before eating, and the player needs to hide from it until the moment is right to strike. I feel like these kind of moments are what makes side content worth the time spent and adds to the history and atmosphere of the game world. Along with that, I was also surprised that some side content actually transports you to a unique mini-map outside of the regular fare of Tokyo and into strange, supernatural, dreamlike areas, which I'm incredibly excited to explore. Unique enemies. In a lot of open-world games, we get a set of enemies that often look very familiar to one another and act similar in combat as well. Ghostwire Tokyo isn't exactly an exception to this formula, but what I did notice is in most of the enemy encounters the players have, there's a variety of skills the enemies use, including sometimes grouping different types of enemies together as well. To me, it's the small detail that adds a lot to the action, and I look forward to seeing how my strategies evolve in each battle as I manage to guard against attacks from distant enemies while directly combating enemies more immediately in my space. There also appears to be enemies specific to certain locations, such as the previously mentioned side quest areas or the Scissor Lady that was shown to appear after activating Torii gates and finding talismans in shrines. Atmosphere. Ghostwire Tokyo's executive producer Shinji Mikami is known for classic horror games such as the Resident Evil series, Dino Crisis, and The Evil Within, and I can't wait to see what kind of overall atmosphere this game sets for us. Story-wise, the game takes place in Tokyo, where an occultist cast a spell causing nearly everyone in the city to vanish and to be replaced by spirits known as the Visitors. The main character is possessed by a spirit detective known as KK and will need to navigate this abandoned city to discover the mystery behind this event. Through released gameplay, we've seen a few unique atmospheric events like a Ghostbusters-esque spirit procession and a crazy-looking We All Float scene where spirits are lifting up into the sky holding umbrellas. I think it's safe to say we are going to see a lot of surprising, fun, and at times horrific scenarios, which will keep us engaged throughout the exploration of the world. Exploration. Speaking of exploration, Ghostwire Tokyo also seems to have a cool variety of things to find in the world. Even though 99% of people have been erased from this world, it appears a few animals still remain. Looking at some of the gameplay, you can see that dogs and cats still remain, and that by interacting with them, they can lead you to hidden treasures all over the map. Another creature that can be found is tanukis, a small raccoon-looking animal mostly known by American audiences for Mario, but found commonly in many other Japanese games and writing. These are my top 5 reasons I'm now hyped to see this game's release. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to hit the like button to let us know, and if you want to see more anime news, reviews, and gaming, including more Ghostwire Tokyo content as the game releases, subscribe to Yokoso Otaku. We'll catch you on the next one.